Happy Camper Radio.
It's the Happy Camper Radio Show coming to you from our brand new broadcast facility in unincorporated Lilburn, Georgia. Daniel is here in the studio with us, kind of looking around. Isn't this amazing?
Wow, it's so big.
And it's so good to be back inside a recording environment again. And Daniel, I'll tell you what, we've got a lot to talk about on the show today, and I know you're very excited about doing the program.
Woo!
You're looking a little more relaxed in comparison to the other studio. Yeah. But it's a good show coming your way. Episode 211 of the Happy Camper Radio. We are so glad you're here with us. Stick around. Another good show coming at you now.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
And of course, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, MyRoGuide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and of course on Spotify. Tell all your friends to tune into Happy Camper Radio today. The phone number has not changed, 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the web at www.happycamperradio.com. Okay, Daniel.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, in comparison to the old studio, you always sat to the left of me.
I did.
Let's go back to 2013 when we first got this show kicked off the ground. Not just the echo, but I mean, we started off not in a studio, but in a corner of a bedroom.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and there was echo. You're right about that.
A little bit.
Okay,
took care of that.
We moved into the studio that we had for many, many years, but you, in all cases, always sat to the left of me, and I only saw half of your face because we had equipment that was blocking the rest of the view, which means I had to move back, I had to pull the mic arm, I had to pull the microphone just so I could make contact with you.
You see everything now.
The studio, yes. I mean, we're sitting face to face.
Yeah, you see me playing on my iPhone, trying to get information.
You know, and if you haven't seen the pictures of the new studio, check them out now on Happy Camper Radio's Facebook page. We took some photos just the other night, and tell you what, I am so relaxed. I feel so comfortable now. I am so looking forward to doing more shows.
Yeah, this is nice. I like it.
I'll tell you, Daniel, we got an anniversary coming up here.
We do.
Tomorrow is 1 year since I have been retired.
Oh, wow. You're going to bring that up. Great.
Yeah, I've got
16 more years until I can be retired.
You will make it.
Hold on. Let me check.
Question.
I've got a countdown clock.
He's got a countdown on his iPhone.
Hold on. Let me see.
This is a guy.
Countdown.com. Let me see here.
This is a guy who's desperate to retire. Yeah.
5,982 days left until I can retire.
You're going to make it. There's no question about it. Just give it some time. I'll tell you, one of the things that somebody told me long before I decided to go ahead and hang it up, so to speak, they said you're going to be more busy in retirement than you were working, and there's no question about that.
I don't know about that. I'll pay people to do stuff when I retire.
Yeah, if you got the money to do that, go ahead. Do it.
I'll be traveling.
Yeah.
I'll be camping on the road, full-timing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Daniel, this transition to our new facility, it took some time.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't something that was planned overnight. I didn't expect it to take as long as it did, but we had some major construction that we had to do to get the studio where it is right now.
Yeah.
And it's looking so great.
It's so big.
Yeah, I mean, we got
a bathroom, too. I like that.
Yeah, this is probably the only broadcast facility in North America that has its own bath and shower.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is, I told you earlier, we need a fridge for drinks.
Well, I'll tell you,
or a beer tap. We need a beer tap in the studio.
And I told you earlier, we probably need to go ahead and give you some recognition. Put your name on the door over there. Yeah, that's that would be so cool. But the old studio, I didn't have the opportunity or the ability to put the photographs on the wall that I've always wanted. They were out in a hallway, and now I've got
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we got on-air lights. We're just doing
top
it
notch
right here. The booth came along.
The booth of justice.
And we've got some new equipment in the studio. We added 2 more microphones. You got a brand new one.
I do.
You got
it's a lot cooler down here.
Yeah, you got
It's
a new
in the basement, so
a
it's,
new microphone,
cool.
and you got a new mic arm, and you got all your gear over there.
I do.
And we're sitting face to face. We've never been able to do that.
I know. We're looking at each other. I'm trying to look away. I don't want to get intimidated.
Yeah, that's
your
okay. One
presence.
of these days, I want to give you the opportunity to sit in this seat here, and you
All
get
right.
to punch all the buttons.
I'll get the wife in this seat, and we'll go
I
at
was
it.
really hoping that she was going to come over today.
She's so busy. She's always busy.
Why? She's on vacation with you. Why is she being busy? Well, of course, I told you about being retired. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So this week, yesterday we slept like literally all day. Then the day before that, we went to a state park, Richard B. Russell, in it's like in the eastern part of the state. It's like east of Athens. And we went out there and I played disc golf, and it's a 27-hole disc golf course for all our disc golf fans out there. So it's like 18 like wood/open air, and then it's like 9 in the woods, which you could pretty much play with a putter. It's like less than 200 feet holes. And, we went around, we went to the beach, we went to check out the campsites, and, we were seeing if, this might be a good spot to go camping one day or whatever, but it's on a lake and everything. So it was pretty nice. And then, and then afterwards we went to my favorite brewery of all time. It's called Terrapin. And, I drank a lot. They were very generous with the tasting. I bought I bought like 5 tickets. I think 5 or 6 tickets for like a 6-ounce tasting of whatever I wanted. And so I tried 4 or 5. And like after the 4th one, the lady didn't even take my ticket. I'm like, oh. And I tried my favorite one last, which is Hopsecutioner. And I got a little bobble doll of a Hopsecutioner. It's a little, for people who don't know, a terrapin is another name for a turtle. And so it's got this turtle in like a Grim Reaper or Executioner outfit, and it's got all these hops laying around, and that's like the little symbol for the Hopsecutioner, but like that's my favorite beer. So we bought a bunch of swag there, and they had a big old outdoor area, and I was telling everyone there, I was like, I need to bring some of my outdoor games out here, and I was like, when are y'all doing another event? I'm coming out here. I'm bringing all my outdoor games so we can have some fun. And she's like, yeah, totally. So I was showing the girl who was bringing me the beers, all the games, and she was all pumped about it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good times, and we did a lot of stuff that day, and we pretty much slept all day yesterday, and now today we're getting back into it on our staycation, which a couple days before we rented a dumpster and we threw a bunch away, and so we got done with that, and we're not trying to work too hard, but we're not trying to relax too much, so we're trying to balance it out. So today we're just kind of getting back into the groove of, fixing up the house and doing stuff.
And, you just described the perfect staycation.
Yeah.
You really stayed busy.
This is the first time. This is our first staycation because we were going to go to Myrtle Beach. No, we were going to go to Charleston, but then the schedule got full and I couldn't get it. And I was all mad about that. And so I was like, we'll just do a staycation. And, because we had car issues, and then we just bought a new deck about a month ago or so. We spent about $4,000 on a new deck, and we're like, let's not spend too much money. So, and then, well, I don't know if anyone cares, but like a couple days before that, we went to Top Golf, which was amazingly awesome. And that was a lot of fun. And we went to Andretti's indoor cart and games, and we went duck pin bowling, which I love duck pin bowling. I know our friend Jim up in Massachusetts, he's all about the duck pin bowling, but I really like it. It's a lot more challenging than regular bowling, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, we've just been hanging out and living the pre-retirement life. And if this is what retirement is, give it to me. I want it.
Well, I got to say this much. You went out and you did some things, and my hat's off to you for that. But,
yeah.
Unlike me, in a few days you're going to have to get back to the grind.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not going to go
Way
ahead.
to bum me out, Skip.
Yeah, I'm not going to go lay into that too much about it. But we're just getting back into the things here at the Happy Camper Radio Show. And as I mentioned, it did take some time to actually put this operation together, and it looks so good.
Yeah.
And I feel real comfortable, and I'm so happy that we were able to make it go like it did. Daniel, one of the things I do want to share with our listeners here, and I had some folks, and I've gotten some emails, and I haven't had an opportunity to respond to, but folks were asking me, where's Skip and where's Daniel? They haven't really done too much this past year. Back on January the 16th of this year, 2021, I got a knock at the door by local police, and I was informed that my oldest daughter, Kelly Marie Vucelich, was shot and killed by her boyfriend. This was a tough pill to swallow. It's something I'm still struggling with. Naturally, being in this position here and just being as happy-go-lucky as I normally am, I just haven't been in a situation where I could get back behind the microphone again. The episodes, the past couple episodes we recorded in the latter part of last year. And I definitely wanted to get them, on the air, so our listeners could have something to listen to until we actually got situated over here in the new studio. But thank heavens we were actually moving, and I had a lot of work to do in getting the studio placed over here because I really had to stay busy. I really had to keep my mind going. This is something that no parent anywhere should be forced to suffer a knock at the door like I got. Fortunately, her boyfriend was arrested, and there's going to be a trial maybe 2 or 3 years down the road from now with this COVID-19. There's no telling how backlogged any of the court systems anywhere in this country are right now. But, we're going to have that coming up, and it's going to take some time. And, I'm still struggling with it. I'm okay, though. I'm doing okay, and I think, when I start going out there and doing some more camping and keeping my mind occupied, as well as doing more shows here in the studio, I think, I'll be all right. I think it's going to work out just fine. You knew Kelly very well, both you and your wife, Beedra.
Actually, she was in the same 5th grade class as my sister, so, we grew up around the same area, really. Mm-hmm. So,
I try to keep things as upbeat as I possibly can here on the show, but, I felt that, I did put that on Facebook here some time back, for those of you who are not Facebook followers of the Happy Camper Radio, but should be, okay. I wanted to share that with you. That's one of the big reasons that I have been away from the studio. Kelly was a wonderful girl, and she was a camper. I'm going to have to dig up some old camping pictures when we went camping. I know she's up there resting with her mom right now, and she's probably looking down on me and saying, "Dad, don't you dare stop doing Happy Camper Radio because of me." She keep it going, keep on camping, keep on having a good time, and keep doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But, I'm not want to spend too much time talking about that. I felt that explanation needed to be made. But, I keep her in my hearts and my prayers as much as I possibly can. Her younger sister is struggling with it as well. But like I said, we're going to be all right. We'll do okay. Our number here at the station again is 404-537-2267, 404-537-CAMP. It is the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, one of the things I wanted to talk about while we have a little bit of time here on the show is being the fact that school is now out. At least it is over here in this part of town. Mm-hmm. I think they got out just a couple days ago.
Yep, Wednesday,
yes. So kids are running around all over the place, and they are desperate to do something. Yeah. Can you imagine being in a classroom, or maybe not being in a classroom, but when you were around your fellow students and your teachers, you had to wear this ugly-looking mask.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I graduated when I did.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course,
22 years ago.
I've had my bout with COVID, and I'm sure you did too.
We did.
But,
we're both, I'm on my first, my second shot is on the 13th, and I know you had it a little while ago. I had it in last August, and, thank goodness we got through it and, everything, but it looks like things are going to, come through. A lot of the retail places around here have made it kind of optional. I know Kroger has. I know Walmart has.
Yes, I know. And our local church too finally went ahead and allowed people to come in without wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And the campgrounds are opening up.
It's getting there.
These kids are winding up now to do something. So parents, if you have some time, and you want to take your kids camping, this would be a great opportunity to maybe sit down at the dinner table tonight and start planning your next camping vacation. But getting out there and with the hot season like it is, and I don't work very well in the summer, and you know that very well.
Well, we did go to Fort Yargo State Park in the middle of July. That was a little bit of a mistake. Good God, it was hot. I wish I would have brought my pop-up then with the air conditioner. Next time we go, I'm bringing the pop-up.
Now, and we've talked about this before. I'm not a guy that goes out on these hiking trails or exploring and doing this. And, I'm not like you and your wife who you set up the tent and then you don't see it, for
go
all the time. Now, I've got to sit down. And, of course, I love a campfire, but I don't love a campfire when the temperature is 90 degrees outside.
That's true.
In the evening when things cool off. But I always want to stay refreshed as best I possibly can.
Yep.
Which means sitting around the campfire, I've got a monster cooler.
Okay.
And I carry a lot of food. And I also carry a lot of drink.
Okay.
So what is your favorite drink, Daniel, that keeps you refreshed during these hot summer months?
So a little while ago, my in-laws, I guess, my sister-in-law and her husband, they got a soda stream, but something was wrong with it. The back broke or whatever. And they got a refund, but they didn't take back the soda stream, so they gave it to us, and we kind of super glued it together, and made it work for us. And we've been buying the little CO2 cartridges for it, and I've been making soda water for about 4 or 5 months now, and there's nothing better than a cold glass of soda water. I mean, I like usually, so I work at the post office, obviously, and it gets hot and there's no air conditioning in the mail truck, and so I'll carry a big old jug, one of those jugs that tell you that you're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day, and it tells you the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you're supposed to drink about a gallon of water. So what I'll do is I'll fill up that gallon jug full of I'd say about 80% full of water. Put it in the freezer, let it freeze, bring it out the next day, put some of my lemon water stuff in it, like the drink mix or whatever, and it'll melt over the day. But by the time 3 o'clock comes around, it gets kind of hot, and I don't want to drink it. The water is kind of not lukewarm. Well, I'd say lukewarm, a little warmer than I really care to drink. And, it's just not worth it to drink. I like it when it's a little less than, cold, head cold. But it gets to that temperature, but I try to drink as much as I can over the day with that. But I mean, that's what I do. I like water, and I like lemon flavored water. I think the experts will tell you water is probably the best
drink that you could have. But to me, water always just tastes so plain.
Yeah, that's why I put the flavoring in it. And I know you're a big fan of soda water too. You got all the Sam's Club sodas, and I every time we used to come over to the other studio, I'm like, hey, Skip, we're doing a show. You got any flavored water for me? And that's how you'd coax me over to do a show. So I mean, I love just a little bit of flavoring. I mean, if I don't have the little flavoring things, just like a pinch of a wedge of lemon or a wedge of lime, just something to make it taste like something. I mean, that's what I like.
Yes, and and the thing with the flavored water is it's 0 calorie.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I have recently gotten into Lipton peach flavored iced tea.
Okay.
Which is great. And I keep maybe about 10, 15 bottles in that center console in my pickup truck. So whenever I'm around and I just get thirsty, I just pop one of those out. And, I don't have to worry about the sun beating down, because once it's in that container there, it's drinkable. It's not hot. But the only problem with that is, that's 100 calories per container.
Yep.
So if you're going to be drinking a lot of iced tea, you're going to be putting on some calories. So you definitely got to get your exercise in. But I think, when you're when you're out in the hot sun, and if you get a good campsite somewhere, I prefer the partially shaded or fully shaded if I can get them, preferably down by a lake somewhere.
Yep.
So it's not too hot, but I always make sure that cooler is full with something.
Yep.
Now, I will have some water there. I do carry a couple of those large 5-gallon containers of jugs of water with me. And, of course, we use that water, too, for washing dishes and what have you. But, if you want a cold drink, I always have ice in the cooler, always got a cup nearby. But, keep a wide variety of things, especially for the kids. Now, one other thing you might want to consider, Daniel, and I don't know how much kid you have in you, but you can get maybe a dozen, 2, maybe 3 dozen of those flavored popsicles.
Oh, okay.
You see them? Yeah. They're not expensive. My only suggestion would be is if, the kids love those.
Right.
They just absolutely, I remember was growing up as a kid. When mom and dad bought those, bringing them on home, they didn't last long at all.
Yeah.
Of course, I had, my siblings with me and they were sharing. But, if you're going to go ahead and do that, what you may want to consider doing is popping every one of them in the freezer before your camping trip so they're nice and cold, and then bury them in all that ice. And if you got a good cooler like I've got one of those big monstrous Coleman coolers. And I have a smaller one. So, if we got a shorter trip somewhere and I'm not really bringing a whole lot of food with me, I'll go ahead and use that. But one of the things about the 2 coolers that they have in common, Daniel, is they maintain the ice for a very long time. And I can remember when we, just not too long ago, we decided well, we have a couple dogs at home,
right.
a couple 3 dogs, and the lady of the house, she loves to go ahead and cook up turkey. So she'll buy some big turkeys when they're on sale, but the only problem is they're not going to fit in our freezer.
Right.
So we bring out that big monstrous Coleman cooler, and we get maybe 2 or 3 bags of ice that we, pick up at the convenience store, and we can leave those turkeys in there for almost a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you open them up and, as long as you're not constantly opening and closing, the ice will last in there for a while. But that large Coleman cooler, that maintains the ice. I've had so many coolers before that, they just did not work out well. And, a couple of days later, all you have is water in there, cold water, because it all melted. But if you got one of those big coolers like I've got here, or it can be any cooler. I mean, you just got to have to go out there and, suit for yourself, whatever you want to go ahead and go with. But, whatever cooler works for you, it's going to last for a while. Get those popsicles, put them in the freezer, make them nice and cold, and then bury them in the ice, right there at the very bottom. So when you get to your campsite and you're out there and those kids are running around, especially in temperatures like they are right now, and being as hot as it is, they're going to have those too. And that'll help keep the kid refreshed.
I always we used to buy pickle pops, and I know those are good for dehydration and everything. But
never heard of them.
I love pickle pops. They're basically pickle juice that's frozen, and I love it. And speaking of our cooler, we have an Arctic cooler that we bought used actually off of I think it was Nextdoor or like Craigslist or something. And we met a guy and. We bought it for a couple $100, but those things are like super expensive. But like they don't sell Arctic in a store. You have to buy it online. And from the reviews I've seen, they're like a little better than Yeti. Yeti's like the top of the line. It's not that big of a cooler, but like it definitely keeps stuff cool. When we went to Savannah last year, we used our Arctic cooler and we never had to worry about refilling the ice. And even when the ice melted, the water was ice cold, so it was a really good cooler for us too.
That's a good thing. But I'm telling you right now, we're only here in the latter part of May. We've got Memorial Day weekend coming up here, and the past couple of days, the weather out here has been brutal.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot.
To the point where I didn't even want to go outside and do any work there.
Yeah,
but. So, if you're going to go camping, I encourage you to do so. A lot of the campgrounds are opening up right now, and in comparison to what it was like this time last year with COVID shutting down everything. And you'll find out, a lot of places you can go to, you're finally able to take off those masks.
Yeah.
I am just so happy to be away from that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Me too.
So anyway, Daniel, it's good to have you here in the studio with us, our brand new studio. And, one of these days, and I know it's going to be maybe a little difficult for you to get on over here, but, we're going to have Skype capabilities. So, you could do the show right from home along with me right here in the studio. And
That's not that far to get here.
And you got that big old monitor right above your head now, which you've never had before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That I can't see.
You can't see it, but I tell you, it's right there for me. And it really helps. I've got, monitors. I got everything kind of aimed at me right here, which makes my job a whole lot easier anytime we're doing a show here on Happy Camper Radio. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, this week I want to take you up to my home state of Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
And there is a campground. You want to talk about a lake.
Okay.
This lake is monstrous. And if you are a boater, you would be in boating heaven. It is the Seven Points Lake. It's a Seven Points campground, and it's located on Raystown Lake near Heston, Pennsylvania. Seven Points Recreation Area, located in the central region of Rayston Lake. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, Rayston Lake is perfectly situated for outdoor recreation. With a short walk from every campsite, visitors can visit everything from interpretive trails to a visitor center. Plus, there's an easy access to swimming, boating, fishing, hiking, and biking. This is the time of the year to take in all of those kind of activities. Now, their facility, they have 6 campground loops within 7 points, and with a full-service marina available. Each campground loop has a restroom and a playground area. There you go, Daniel.
Woohoo!
And most loops have showers. You definitely need a nice shower if you're going to be out in weather like this.
Yep.
Campsites are spacious where available and include a picnic table, a fire grill, and lantern hangers, and most sites offer electric hookups. As a convenient bonus, sites are a mile from grocery, bait, tackle, and gas. Although I like to make sure I'm self-sufficient and have everything right there, Daniel, you never know. When you and I get to go camping, we just may get our taste buds for something that we did not pack away, and we have to run out and go get it.
Yep.
All right. It does happen, folks. But,
it does.
Yeah. So, if you're looking for a great place to go camping, I would go ahead and consider this. Check it out. It's going to be on our homepage all week long at happycamperradio.com. Look at the information at the very top of the page. A lot of important things right there. And by the way, folks, if you don't have a recreation.gov account, you may want to consider doing that. Just go to recreation.gov. The link is right there on our website. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you see that little blue button up there. It says sign up. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. And if you're going to be using recreation.gov campground sites all throughout your camping experience, no matter where you go, you might want to go ahead and get one of those accounts. It really helps you log in and make your reservations. But like I say, considering COVID and everything, please look at the information on each one of these campsites you may be considering going camping at to make sure that everything is monitored and situated very carefully there. I know we're not totally out of the woods yet, but hopefully very soon we will, and it's going to be a great camping experience once again. And Daniel, I hope we never experience anything like that ever again. Yeah. But we're going to keep it upbeat as best we possibly can. The Happy Camper Radio Show back at you. If you're looking for a great place in the state of Pennsylvania, if you happen to be passing on through anytime or considering a campground, you might want to consider 7 Points. It's our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel. On happycamperradio.com.
And if you have a campground you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. Daniel, I am so glad you were able to come over here.
Yeah. All right.
Our first podcast in our brand new studio in unincorporated Lilburn, Georgia. Looking at you face to face, I'm not used to that. We'll be doing a lot more great shows coming your way. Get out there and camp, folks. Have a good time doing it. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. Do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper. Oh, yes, he is. And we're going to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. Have a good one, everybody. This is Happy Camper Radio.